Hello everybody, Keith here again. It's another of the What's in Bloom at the end of the month video, this time for May 2022. Not got a huge number in flower at the moment, but I've got some different ones. Some we missed last month because they were away with the East Midlands Orchid Society, and a few old favourites that have nearly finished. But what I might do, I'll see what we're doing for time. I'll have a look and I'll see whether I've got time to show you a couple that are almost in flower, and I'll keep one back if you'll won't mind me being slightly tongue-in-cheek towards the end. So let's begin. We'll start with Restrepia falkenbergii. I don't know whether we can zoom in on this to really get the flower at its best. Whoops, there's it. Whoops, a Restrepia, I suppose. There we are. It's not too bad. Highly unusual looking flower, of course, on these. So, put that back, there we go. This is the plant, one of the development plants. This was kept in an old aquarium type thing, set up as a terrarium using just ordinary cling film to seal the top of the tank. I've moved all of them out of here because it's now far too warm, and they're now upstairs on bedroom windowsills for the most part. With this one there wasn't room for it because that tank is quite large, so it now sits on a dressing table. It's not going to get, it'll see some daylight, but it's never going to see direct sunshine. But the aquarium has a little LED lamp, not terribly powerful, but it's got a little LED lamp, and I'm running that 12 hours a day. And everything seems to like it, including this fern, so I think some of this is going to have to go. I'll probably have to repot it before very much longer. But the light seems to be important for this. It's flowered really heavily this year. But more importantly, as far as I'm concerned, it's putting out new growths. We've got one there, and there's a second one coming from the same leaf node just here. Same with this one, we have a new growth there, and if you can see it very well, but you've got another new growth there, and we've got a root. So that is a very happy and healthy Restrepia. That you know, we've now got 5-6 new growths on that, because you've actually got 3 spots. You've got this one, this one and this one, and they've all got a secondary growth at the base. So I think, I say, more by luck than judgment, I've got that one pretty well right. One that's only recently come out, perhaps not one of the best flowerings it's ever had, but with a flower like that, do you need it to go absolutely bananas? I don't really think so. This is Alisara, or is or was, goodness only knows what these multi-generic names are these days, but I've got it identified as Alisara Marfitch Renaissance Coral. It's growing quite well. There's a new growth coming. It's not in the most wonderful shape, I don't think, but it's doing okay. And the newer growths are nice and plump, although there's some signs of wrinkling on the older bulbs. So I need to be a little bit cuter with this, but it seems to be quite happy for the most part. We've got some lovely flowers. This has spent most of the winter upstairs on the windowsill, where oddly enough it's cooler in the summer, it's warmer in the winter. When it gets in here, certainly overnight, and this is one that suggests sort of 15 to 25 as its happy temperature range. It sees a little bit more than that, but while I'm here it won't, because I can get the windows open and keep it within that zone. Right, let's start off with this one, which last month was away with the East Midlands Orchid Society, being displayed at the Glasgow Orchid Festival. Didn't get any awards, of course. I mean, it's just a fairly basic fowl, not that big. It might have done if it had got one of those really long spikes that it's prone to, but not so much this year. But we've got a huge leaf here. There's another one coming. This is doing very well for me. We've got roots coming. This is a plant that's doing extremely well. It is, of course, Phalaenopsis pink twilight. It's probably the biggest one I've got at the moment. I mean, goodness only knows. I mean, that must be a good 30 centimetres that side. If it goes the same this side, it's taking up a large amount of space. And nice as it is, I might have to actually start thinking about whether I can give it that amount of space. Is it just too darn big for the space I can give it? I mean, it's a gorgeous thing, but it's a beast when all said and done. And that's the problem with the very big ones. And then of course we can go to this one. Very hard to believe, isn't it, that that is also a Phalaenopsis. This is Equestris. Flowers are not lasting ever such a long time this time. Not as long as the hybrid phals do, but it did have about 10 days between waterings. And this little pot, it may be that the flowers have suffered because it was insufficient water, but now I'm back and I'm not going away for a bit, or certainly not for more than a weekend. It should be able to get as much moisture as it wants. It's growing 2 new leaves this year. We've got some roots. So this one's great, I'm really pleased with this. And of course, it doesn't get a lot bigger than this. This is about as big as it gets. So, from pink twilight to Equestris, definitely sublime to the ridiculous, you've got to say. Leodoro, or possibly the other way around, as I've said many times before, because this one doesn't actually have a scent, and Leodoro, Sweet Memory Leodoro, is supposed to. But this one, behaving slightly oddly. I know that this type of fowl doesn't kill its old spikes off just like that, and you can see we've got 1, 2, 3 spikes. I cut one off a little while back that was starting to look a bit sad, but we've now got, where are we, another one coming here, and for the first time in a little while we've got a new leaf, which is a nice big one, nice and glossy. No sign of any more, but at least we've got one new leaf. So this one is doing all right. Just kept on a windowsill. Gets a few hours of, well, at the moment he's getting a couple of hours of morning sunshine, and then in the winter when it goes upstairs to keep it a little bit warmer, it'll get indirect, all the plants upstairs, because it faces northwest. The sun goes down in that direction, the window's over there, so some of them can see the sun, this one doesn't. Mini Mark, last two flowers on this spike. It's nice to see at long last new leaves. We've got one new leaf there, and if you can see it, there's another one down in the centre, and we've got a nice looking root. We've got quite a lot of roots in here. I suspect it's been a while since it was repotted. I'll have to check up, but all in all, I think this is not doing too badly. As I get some nice new leaves, we've got some new roots. Thankfully, we've actually got no signs of any more spikes. I don't want any more spikes off this. I want this to grow. I want more roots. I want more leaves. Give it a rest. Let it have the chance to recover, because this has been in flower for goodness only knows how long, and that can sometimes not do a lot of good. Although the fact it's putting up new leaves and roots gives me hope that it's doing okay. Another one that's flowering and growing at the same time. This is Fuller's Sunset Golden Sun. Really pretty one, I think, this one. Yellow and pink. Doing well again for the first time in a while. It's putting a new leaf up. We've got a lot of roots which have got growing tips on, and roots that are branching. So this is a plant which is finally recovering from the shock it had. I've told this tale any number of times, of course, but this one, as I was just saying about Mini Mark, this is the one that absolutely flowered itself out, and it took it 3 or 4 years before it flowered again. Now it's flowering regularly. I'm starting to see some decent sized spikes and decent number of flowers, but it's probably taken 6-7 years now since that last flowering, since it's really looked anything. But now I think we're just about there. Next year, or later on this year possibly, knowing how some of these hybrid fallows can be, a bit of luck must be doing all right. Last of the Phalaenopsis, and another one that was away at Glasgow. This one is you going to focus? Oh, there we are, I think. This is Phalaenopsis mannii. Not ever so big. Probably, oh, I don't know, 125 mil on the leaves, so 250 across or thereabouts. So it's sort of intermediate sized plant. Sits on the northwest facing windowsill pretty much all year round. In the kitchen at the moment. Seems extremely happy. Got quite a nice spike. And it's doing okay. And I think I can see, fairly sure I can see a new leaf coming. So again, this is one I got from Zane or Zana Rapper a few years ago now. It was part of a plant swap, and it's grown quite well, flowers quite well once a year. And I really like this, like Equestris. It's a simpler flower, it's a smaller flower, but I think there's something about the smaller ones that the big ones don't have. The other one that was away in Glasgow, really close to being finished now. This is Zygonicia Rhine Blue Angel. It's in pretty desperate need of a repot. It's looking quite grim in places. That needs to be sorted out before something really bad starts. Really does need looking at, that does. But as I say, this is very nearly over, so I think I can start to trim these spikes and head it out the pot, and we'll see where we stand. But this is a plant which has done incredibly well for me. I bought it from Burnham's, and just with a slightly different zygote type, and it's never disappointed. Really pleased with that. So, Zygonicia Rhine Blue Angel. I'm rather dreading doing the repot because I think it's going to be interesting, shall we say. The last one, which was up at Glasgow last month, this is my only Rhodanthera at the best flower. Again, these are nearly over. They last about 5 or 6 weeks, something like that. This is a cross between Amayani and Monachica. It actually looks a lot more like Monachica than some, but it's supposedly the cross. And we're looking okay. I'm actually quite surprised this one's still here. The old American hybrid, the Bulldog Path. I would like to think how long this thing's been flowering for, but it's going over, but we've got new fans coming. And yeah, this seems to be doing okay. Again, been repotted nearly a year. About 9 months, 8 or 9 months. Growing okay in its new medium, it's looking quite happy, so we're doing fine. So that's all the orchids. And you might have noticed that I've been taking the orchids off the table this month. I have got a couple which are coming into flower. This is a Doretis pulcherrima. This is a white form. There's 2 plants in this pot. Both of them had spikes, and I managed to snap this one off trying to stake it. But we've now got another spike on both of these coming, so I shall get something out of these. But it's again growing leaves and growing spikes, so that'll be good. The other one that I hope will be in flower next month is this Epidendrum. Funny old thing is this, but one of them has got a flower spike coming. It's a strange old plant. Roots coming out from all over. Keikis coming out from all over, which is how these things tend to grow. Had a slight problem with it. Some of the leaves started to become discoloured and a bit yellow. You might be able to see that on something like this one. Wasn't sure what it was, had a look on the internet, and it turned out it was probably some kind of leaf miner type pest. So I gave it a good spray with some bug clear, and all the new growth since I did that, well, I gave it a couple of sprays, I've come up clean, so I'm hoping that's sorted that out. But hold me well, we'll see that lovely orange flower again, even if it is only on one spike. Right, I hope that you will forgive this slightly tongue-in-cheek flower now. Is it an orchid? No, of course it isn't. But they are known as the orchid cactus. And you can see how big that thing is. It's about 5 inches, 125 mil, all the way across. It's opened fully this morning. It'll be closed again by this time tomorrow. It's such a shame. They are the most fantastic looking things. Different colours, pinks, purples, reds, absolutely glorious. We've got several more buds to come, but not quite yet. Such a shame that they flower for such a short length of time, because I think they are rather special. One of my favourite flowers, and I thought you might like to see those. I say, orchid cactus, yeah, okay. Bit tongue in cheek, but never mind. Right, that's that for this month then. Just over 21 minutes. So, thank you for watching. I hope that's been interesting. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.